thought it would be fun to break down the construct of a story, to take a deeper dive into how to identify a story that's in your life that is creating an emotional response. As we spoke about, the emotional response is what catapults energy in motion. It's also gets activated through your free will. So when I begin to look at a story, let's say this is a very wide range story, right? A current president, created a lot of emotional response activated through your free will. And it created a lot of stories for each person. There was a lot of touching down on one's sexuality, one's nationality, and one's insanity, right, of this one particular person. And it created a lot of like pushing forward emotional response. It doesn't matter the person, which is the president in the storyline. What matters is your thoughts and feelings around that story. The thoughts and feelings around that story are creating for you your voice. Your voice is giving you an understanding of what your hopes, your fears, and your positioning inside yourself is. So the story that you view as your perspective is running either a new storyline or an appear-to-be storyline. An appear-to-be new storyline is one that looks like it's a different character and a different emotional state. But if you, I'm going to use a word called traverse. Traverse for me is when you take information and you travel that information to previous life experiences or previous life remembrances of times in your life that you felt that same particular way. So you traverse back and you look to see that that emotional state may have been how you felt when you came up against an opinion your parents had as opposed to your opinion, or an opinion you think about the way society views you. The list can go on and on. The work has to be done by you because everyone's emotional conclusional pieces, which have been driving them, creating for them this energetic state of experiences. So energetic, it's state of experiences is your story, the story. And taking a closer look at that will allow you a better insight into you. Now, if we were to identify this, just like I call this the Matrix, let's call this the Matrix for fun, and it's a common understanding of something. That's why we use words to bring a point of information to a collective approach so we can relate to it in some fashion. So we bring the point of calling this system we're all in the Matrix, so we're knowing what I'm pointing to and what you're identifying it as. So you go and you examine those feelings and you see that it's been an ongoing feeling for a very long time. This will help you in a few ways. A, it helps you know what you're outputting with your energy that cannot be destroyed. And it's affecting, your energy is affecting you. It's affecting you manifesting and what you're manifesting. and how you're contributing to the overall reality system in which is in front of us all, called what we decided would be called the Matrix. The misconception up until this point for a majority, not for all, for a majority, is that we are experiencing this, we're not contributing to the experience. We may feel in our own lives, right, with family and friend, that we are contributing to an experience. But in the big, giant world of collective consciousness, it gets a little bit more convoluted to how we are or are not contributing to this experience. What I would say is that we are contributing, in theory, to all of it. That it's not limited to some of it, based on a theory that we are collectively all connected to one another on an energetic level. Now, these energies are waves of frequency, right? So it's kind of fun to do. The waves of frequency. These waves of frequency do not vibrate at the same frequency. They're not always playing at the same level. So sometimes frequencies are going like this, and other times they're moving together like this. So that's contributing to the collective consciousness we're speaking about. Let's let that just migrate for a second, and I'll come back to you with another video. But this is a good place to stop, pause, and ponder how your story is attached to your emotional well-being, and how you're contributing to a collective from that emotional well-being. Now, a lot of times people don't want to take a look at this because it does make you feel very helpless. I was looking at something yesterday, and I could see the emotional well-being, and I got confused. So in the next video, we'll talk about how to get through that confusion place. The first thing you've got to do, though, is take the time out from this video to pinpoint an emotional place that's in a loop. So we can talk about how to get out of it together. So we'll talk in a few.